Just because these MCU actors play law-abiding superheroes doesn't mean they don't break the rules in real life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Avenger. It looks like we have got a ways to go until there's another Avengers movie. Whether Endgame ends up at number 1 or number 2 all time at the box office, another installment in the franchise is inevitable. But one big question left remaining is, who will even be in the next one? We already know that it's at least 3 years away, and Spider-Man will likely have a huge role. But with all the death and retirements, the field of superheroes has been narrowed down. In addition to this, some of the Marvel Cinematic Universe actors have even broken some of the precious rules that Disney had placed on them. We already know that directors aren't safe. We're looking at you, James Gunn. And some characters had even been recast. As you'll see in this video, some of the MCU actors don't like to follow instructions, and we wonder if it might end up costing them in the future. Only time will tell. But for now, here are the Avenger actors that broke Marvel's rules. Chris Pratt. Anchoring a Marvel franchise is a lucky spot to be in. One would expect each and every actor in these positions to play it straight and follow the rules. But not every actor is Chris Pratt. How often can you say that you're the lead in not 1, not 2, but 3 majorly successful franchises? The Jurassic World role proved to the world that his casting in Guardians of the Galaxy was no fluke, and the Lego movie showed that he had even more mass appeal than expected. The first 2 editions of those franchises made over $2.1 billion combined, so Chris has got a lot to fall back on, even if he dropped out of the Marvel Universe today. So, that actually might explain why he threw caution to the wind while he filmed Avengers Endgame. Secrecy was the name of the game during the last film's shooting. Whenever some of the footage leaked, people online were completely shocked at the revelations. Fat Thor? Professor Hulk? Needless to say, Marvel's big rule was no leaks, which means no cameras on set. This applied not only to the crew, but to the actors as well. But we guessed that Chris Pratt was feeling a little bit rebellious when he took this footage behind the scenes. So many amazing characters and actors in a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Really, we don't blame him. Wouldn't you film this awesome moment even if it was illegal to do so? Even though Pratt has such a lucrative safety net, that might not have been the smartest move in the world. Let's think about the nature of Marvel Phase 4 for a second. It seems to be embracing the theme of out with the old, in with the new. Disney has already proven that they don't mind fiddling with the Guardians franchise either. They fired famed director James Gunn in the past. Then they rehired him, of course, because of, amongst other things, the film actors threatening to walk. In addition to this, at the end of Endgame, they teased a new addition to the team, another famous Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor the God of Thunder. MCU combined Thor with Hulk in Ragnarok to huge success, both commercial and critical. So pushing Star-Lord to a secondary role in his own movie isn't totally off the table. As Guardians of the Galaxy could actually end up being a very real and very permanent move, especially because Hemsworth has said that he's down for more movies. But to add more intrigue into the story, Hemsworth also said in a new interview that he doesn't plan on filming anything for a year, at the minimum. After back-to-back movies, he's decided to spend time with his children at their important development ages. We know that the new Guardians movie begins filming in 2020, at least that's what it's scheduled now. So if he literally meant a full calendar year, then that puts his involvement in the movie in jeopardy. This seems to be in direct contrast to his interview that he gave only a month earlier, where he claimed to want to sign another contract right away. This all may boil down to having some leverage in negotiating a new contract, but now that the MCU's got us excited for Thor and Guardians team up, it looks like the fans might just demand it no matter what. Another contract is impending for Thor, but rumors say Pratt's contract is up after the next film. In fairness, it's not likely that the next Guardians movie will be the last time we see Star-Lord. Anyone who's appeared in so many successful movies knows that it's important to follow the rules, so this filming mistake was likely a one-time thing. Getting overwhelmed by the emotion is merely a crime of passion, and for all we know, this could have even been a secret publicity scheme by Disney itself. Not to sound like a conspiracy theory nut. Anyways, look for Marvel and Disney to put all this behind them and continue to make Guardians movies so long as they stay profitable. That is, unless Pratt breaks yet another huge rule. Chris Evans. The next actor on our list doesn't have to worry about getting blacklisted by Disney and Marvel, because he already passed on that shiny shield and went to the superhero retirement home. Of course, we're talking about the first Avenger, Captain America, played by the perfectly cast Chris Evans. You may not know this, but Marvel was beyond protective of the Endgame script. In fact, they even went so far as to give out fake scripts to some actors to keep people guessing and to avoid leaks. And with Tom Holland, aka Spider-Man, they actually gave him no script at all. After all, he is a walking, talking leak waiting to happen, so they probably made the right move there. Spoiler Man even fell for a joke online, claiming that he uploaded the entire Avengers Endgame script. So with this level of secrecy, it's kind of hard to believe that our beloved Law and Order following, King of the Right and Wrong, Captain America, was behind the biggest script snafu. Chris Evans was entrusted by Disney and Marvel to take possession of a complete Endgame script, in a real version. Apparently their trust in him was very high, but very misplaced, because Mr. Evans took that script home with him, and that is a big no-no. He told Good Morning America that he took home his script, and his reveal of this would actually get him in serious trouble. That level of security was so those juicy details wouldn't come out, and having it in his car and his house meant it was that much easier for it to be stolen. Imagine an extra motivated driver for Chris catches the script in the corner of his eye and snatches it up when Chris isn't looking. That would easily be the scoop of the year for any number of entertainment websites, which means it's worth a lot of cash money. Of course, Cap got lucky this time, and the entire thing went off without a hitch. Chris Evans gave himself away and won't suffer any further consequences, since he's no longer involved in the franchise. But that's not necessarily true of all the actors on our list. Benedict Cumberbatch. Now, Benedict hasn't been in the Marvel game as long as some others, but he should definitely know the rules by now, especially since he was rumored to have signed that 6-picture deal that is standard for all new Marvel movie actors. He's appeared in Doctor Strange, Thor Ragnarok in a cameo, Infinity War, and Endgame. So after the confirmed Doctor Strange 2, he still has 2 movies to go, since cameos don't count towards the total. Maybe this feeling of security is why he was able to get away with breaking one of Marvel's biggest rules, reading the entirety of a script. We already told you about Chris Evans' decision to take the script home with him, so this might not seem like such a huge gaffe in comparison. But this is all happening before Infinity War, when Benedict only had 1 movie under his belt. The chance for him to get a hold of a full script and read it is almost unheard of. He thinks that he was able to break this rule because he needed a complete overview to approach his acting in the movie with a sense of scope. He needed to know just how big things were going to be. So that means he knew beyond a shadow of a doubt who all went away with the snap and who stayed behind. If you think of it this way, it actually makes a lot of sense when considering the Infinity War press tours. We mentioned before Tom Holland's penchant to be a spoiler. So while out on the press tours, the most common pairing was Tom Holland and Cumberbatch. The Strange actor was aptly able to hold back any potential spoilers while acting as sort of a handler for Tom Holland along the way. This all may have been an elaborate way for Benedict to prevent even the smallest of press spoilers, since he knew the complete picture. He knew when to stop Tom before things went too far. If this was Marvel's master plan, we gotta give it up to him. Out of all the possibilities, this was the only one that worked. Elizabeth Olsen. We've mentioned Chris Hemsworth a few times so far, mainly as one of the best kept secrets in Endgame, but it's kind of hard to imagine the actor in the role of Marvel rule enforcer. But when Elizabeth Olsen, aka Scarlet Witch, broke one of these important laws, Thor was there to scold her. Yep, Olsen fell victim to a Marvel rule mentioned earlier that was broken by Chris Pratt. She just had to film on set. With her Instagram post, it seems she was more motivated by pride, having been very satisfied to be part of this incredible journey. We know she's heading to Disney Plus for her own streaming show, so she likely had no fear about posting this video, especially after Chris Pratt had just posted his. We know her post led to a lot more followers, so maybe social media dominance was also a motivator. Even though Chris Hemsworth told her no cameras on set, who do you notice in this video that doesn't have a care in the world? Yep, it's Chris Evans, Cap himself. A silly wave like that just confirms that he was happy to be a part of the final film and then ride off into the sunset. The moral of the story is, the bigger star you are, the less likely you are to be punished for your rule breaking. and the Marvel actors are the biggest stars of them all. Well, that wraps this video up. Do you think Marvel is too strict? Were the actors in the wrong? Let us know down in the comment section. And be sure to let us know if we missed any too. And before you go, do me a favor and give this video a big thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button too, so you don't miss any awesome content from the Avenger. Thanks for watching.